here. Mr. Kumar.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you, Manish.
Thank you, sir. So there's Mr. Govind Rasan over here, sir. If you require any help in Tamil, then Govind is here. You can tell Govind for any kind of translation. If any question answer help is required or anything like that, Govind is there.
Good.
Thanks, Govind. Thank you so much. So over to you, sir.
So good morning, friend. Let's focus on the product now. Say we are taking up CR product, and this is a product belonging to the engineering class. Now you may not be aware, in engineering class there are a lot of products, a variety of products according to the requirements. So this product especially designed for contractors, basically for the civil projects. So let us understand this product clearly. I am sharing with you the presentation of the product. I hope this is visible to all. Anybody can confirm?
Yeah, visible, sir.
Okay. So the name of the product is Contractors All Risk, belonging to the engineering class. But this product, being the part of engineering insurance, you have to understand what part the engineering insurance is required. Basically, engineering insurance means policies which are applicable to ongoing construction projects, installation projects, and machines and equipments and project operations. For all these purposes, these engineering policies are there. Somebody has raised the hand. Babu. Any questions? Or this is by mistake?
Sir. No, sir. Initially, he raised the hand with money, sir. No, sir. We can proceed.
Okay, thank you. So almost all the policies of engineering are focused on three things: ongoing construction projects, installation projects, and machines and equipment and project operations. But these features of engineering classes are also important. Okay, they are having a wide range. Wide range in the sense, purpose specific policies are there. Not the case that ongoing construction is there only or machines are there only. Various purposes are there. Since the industry is about creating and designing construction and buildings, there are increased chances of accidents because these designing, constructions, buildings are always subject to various perils. So these all engineering policies forms on-site construction including plant and machinery uses as well as these installations. Now, why CR is important? Say our country is a developing country. All of you are aware. In a developing country, the first symptom of a developing economy is that the fastest growing economy must be there. Fastest growing economy means where the infrastructural developments are taking place. And these infrastructural developments refers to railways, industrial units, housing facilities, dams, flyovers, power plants, and other such constructions. In any economy, if these all things are going on, there means that infrastructural development is taking place and that economy is bound to rise. But the rise in these infrastructural project means there is a material risk also. And this material risk has to be protected. Because the possibility of damage to the construction material machinery, constructed portion from the environmental perils, man-made perils is most important. Because wherever there are infrastructural projects, they are all bound to losses, damages, and financial losses. So let's have a glimpse what kind of engineering policies are there. See, basically, these engineering policies are divided into two sections. One is annual and the second is long-term projects. So in annual category of engineering policies, you will find contractors, plant and machinery, that is called CPM, electronic equipment insurance, that is also known as EI insurance, machinery breakdown insurance, that you call in short as MBD, and BPP, that is boiler and pressure plant insurance. Everybody has to go on mute. This gentleman, Mr. Arjun M, you have to mute yourself. Mr. Arjun M.
Yes, sir.
Mute yourself. Yes. So these annual policies includes CPM, EEI, MBD, BPP, and on the other hand, long-term projects. Long-term project means policy is basically issued for 1 year only, but that policy is not renewed every year. That policy is extended for the period required for completion. And these policies includes contractors all risk and erection all risk. So these are also called as long-term policies and project policies and period insurance also. So basically, this is the division of main engineering policies, but on the basis of time. If you take another basis, you will find policies are further subdivided on the basis of construction phase and operation phase. Because in engineering, you will find most of the policies belong to the construction phase. But thereafter, when the construction is completed, plant is erected and the project is over, thereafter the operation starts. There, you will find number of policies which are operating on every unit. So in construction phase, again the period of one-time policies would be there, like CAR, EAR, marine income erection, advanced loss of profit policy, that is also known as delay in startup, that is called DSU. These policies relate to the construction phase, where as long as there is a construction of a unit or a project, these policies will operate. But thereafter, when the project is over, when it has been put into the service, when the trial is over, and the project plan continues, in that case, various policies are required. For example, for machineries protection, MBD policy, boiler pressure plant, BPP policy, machinery loss of profit, MLOP policy, contractors plant and machinery, CPM policy, civil engineering completed risks, ECR policy, electronic equipment, EI policy, and deterioration of stock, that is called DOS insurance. So these are the two bases of dividing the all engineering policies. One on the basis of the time, that is 1 year, annual, and long-term policies. Second, on the basis of construction and operation. So operational policies are different, construction policies are different, annual policies are different, long-term policies are different, and almost these are the total policies which are part of the engineering class. So I presume you have got a basic idea what kind of engineering policies are there in the insurance industry. Now, what are the unique features of CR policy? Let's understand. What are the unique features? Point number one, period of cover. This is most important. Reason being, this policy commence from the commencement of work or arrival of first consignment at the project site, whichever is earlier. Say for example, I am starting an automobile industry and I have taken a 3 acre of land. So it's going to be a project of say 50 crore. Now when the policy will come into force, if I am taking the CR policy, two bases are there. One, from the commencement of work, that day work starts at the operation site, or arrival of first consignment at the project site. These two options are there because sometimes the commencement of work delayed due to the arrival of total consignments. So the day first consignment is there on the project site, the team need protection of this consignment, because these consignment could be of the building material, of the machineries, of the erection equipments. They need protection. So either from that date the policy can be started or from the commencement of work. These are the two options. Now when the policy will expire? So the cover will expire when the completed part thereof is taken over, point number one, or put into service, two, or the date specified in the policy, whichever is earliest. Means under three circumstances this policy will expire. Once the project is completed or it is taken over by the principals or by the owners, the policy expires. If it is including the trial period, in that case the policy will expire when it is put into service, or in third case when the policy date is expiring. So either of these three, and whichever is earlier, the policy will expire. In case the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy, what will happen? Because this policy, CAR and even EAR, they are not annual policies, they are long-term policies. But how this long-term will work? In case the work is not completed within the period specified in the policy, then the policy can be extended. It is not renewed, mind it. The difference you have to understand. Because annual policies are renewed every year, as long as they are required. These long-term policies are not renewed, they are extended till the project is completed. So there could be a specified timeline that the project completion may take further 6 months or 8 months or 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever time they require. The policy can be extended for that period, because the basic terms and conditions of the policy will remain continue as it is. The only thing is period is extended. So this is a major difference between CR and other annual policies. Period of cover starts under two circumstances. Either the commencement of work is there or the first consignment of the project site is there. Policy cover terminates under three circumstances. One, when it is taken over, completed project. Two, when it is put into service. Three, when the policy date expires. And if it is not completed within the specified time, then the policy is not renewed. It is extended for the further period required to complete the project. I hope everything is clear to all of you. Okay. Now try to see the basic difference between CR and ER, because these two policies are most common in the new project sites. CR and ER. If you go to full form, this is contractors all risk and erection all risk. and both are all risk covers. But the determining factor is value of erection and installation works. Listen again. Both are all risk covers, but the value of erection and installation work are the determining factors. How they will decide which policy will come into operation? Who is this gentleman? Babu, why you are raising hand again and again? This is now stopped. So, when the value of erection or installation work is more than 50%, in that case erection always policy will be given. Because the project basically related to erection. And when the civil construction is more than 50%, in that case contractors always policy will be given. So try to understand the difference again. Both are always covers, but the determining factor is value of erection and installation works. If the erection work is more than 50%, EIR policy will come into operation. If the construction work is more than 50%, EIR policy will come into operation. So the selection will be based on the projected erection, projected civil work, and that projected erection or civil work can be found out at the time of proposal, because the layout is given along with the proposal. What kind of project is going to start? What policy does they need? What is the determining factor? How the erection work will be superseding the construction work, or it's vice versa, whether the construction work is superseding the erection works. Accordingly, the policy will be decided. Now, among these unique features of this policy, you will find in majority of proposals there will be risk inspection by the company engineers. Why? Because these are the mega projects. Most of them are corporate risk, where 50 crore, 100 crore, 200 crore, 500 crore, 1000 crores. These are minor things. Depending upon the project site and valuations. So such risks are inspected by the company engineers, and on the recommendation of the engineer's report, the proposals are accepted. Plus, company engineers are also suggesting the good features which needs to be complied with by the proposers. So there could be warranty and conditions along with the policy. Secondly, duty of uttermost good faith applies, because these are the contracts totally based on the moral hazard. So everything has to be disclosed at the time of proposal. Means proposer has to declare all material information. Even in that declared material information will change over a period of time. How it will change, I will tell you in detail. Thirdly, policy can be sold or policy can be issued in the joint name of two or more persons, maybe like principals, contractors, subcontractors, like that. Almost all classes of engineering insurance are controlled by tariffs, which prescribes the standardized proposal and policy wordings. That means there is a separate engineering tariff. Though the IRDA has dismantled all the tariffs, but for the purpose of pricing only. That means all terms, conditions, wording and clauses will prevail as it is. And all the policies of engineering classes are governed by the engineering tariff. Sum insured is adjustable at completion of construction on the basis of actual basis. Here the sum insured plays a lead role. Lead in the sense, when the proposal is given for CR or ER policies, the projected cost is calculated on the basis of the cost proposed today. But maybe the project time is 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. So do you think the cost will remain the same? Impossible. I give you a working example of Jaipur. In Jaipur, a project called Dravyavati Nadi was started. Contract was given to some Tata firms. Initially, when this project was started, the projected cost was 425 crores. By the time it was completed after 2 or 3 years, the project cost gone to 1400 crores. Why? Plenty of factors are there. Delay in construction, labor cost, material cost, other features which we should not discuss, like maybe political issues like that. Any kind of thing could increase the cost. And this is a routine feature, normal feature with all the projects. Whenever a big project is under construction, the cost will increase according to the time factor. Even if the time bound tender is given, say suppose a stadium is going to be constructed within 3 years, projected cost is 100 crores. So today its projected cost is 100 crores, but by the time the stadium would be completed, maybe the cost has gone to 250 crores, 300 crores. So the sum insured is adjustable at completion of construction on the basis of actual basis. Moreover, the duty of utmost good faith applies because the insured have to declare all material information. So these are the unique features of this policy. Now, the CR policy applied to those risks which are located in India, for which the value of the civil works involved is more than 50% of the total contract value. That means this policy cannot be given for any contractor who is also having a project which is constructing any property or any project beyond the territory of the country. Risk must be located in India only. Now, who can take this policy? Principal, contractor or subcontractor. That means to whom you have to sell this policy? Who are your target segments? Government contractors involved in government projects like road construction, bridge construction, building constructions, builders and developers of townships. They are all your buyers. I repeat, including government contractors. The contractors who are engaged in bridge construction, building construction, builders, developers of townships, they are all your target segments. And you can give them the policy. I show you the image. What kind of projects could be there? This see. One is road construction. One is building construction. And third is the industrial unit. They are all under the construction phase. Here they all need CR policy. Because here construction work of total projected cost is more than 50%. Even in road also you can see. Had it been the case where the erection costs have gone more than 50%, policy would have converted into CAR policy. So the CR and ER makes only this difference. Now how the coverage of this policy is decided? Basically these are all risk policies. But when we say all risk policy, what does it mean? Simply that means this covers all risk excluding exclusions. So two sections are there, one is material damage and second is third party liability. But material damage is such a wide section that covers the property against loss, damage or destruction by any cause unless specifically excluded. That is why this is called all risk policy. So the CR policy provides an all risk cover. That means that almost any sudden unforeseen loss or damage occurring during the period of insurance on the construction site is indemnified, excluding exclusions. So very wide coverage is there. Section second is third party liability. This policy covers the third party liability or third party property against loss or damage, destruction by any cause, including third party personal injury by any cause. So third party liability is almost decided by the court of laws. Whatever liability is decided, that is compensated. But material damage has to be physically assessed, inspected, and then only the claim is settled. Both the sections are covered. Both the sections are part of the policy. And they are inbuilt section, no additional payment charge for them. If we go into detail of the further section of the material damage, you will find the kind of loss or damages which are normally taking place at project sites. Say for example, fire perils can cause the loss. Fire perils are plenty. As of now, they are 14. For example, fire, lightning, explosion, theft, burglary, windstorm, flood, inundation, earthquake, landsliding, rock sliding, subsidence. They are all covered. Second category is contractual fault. Yani constructional fault. Means defective material, workmanship, collapse, subject to exclusions. Defective material and workmanship is also covered. Third, human error, lack of skills or negligence of workers. Fourth, other perils like air crash, blasting. So from this image you can understand this coverage of material damage section is very wide. Because almost all the reasons which are causing the loss or damage to the project sites are covered under section material damage, except the exclusions. See an image and let's understand. This is an actual loss. This is an actual image of the loss caused at the Delhi metro site. So when this loss took place at the Delhi metro site, you can imagine what kind of losses have taken place. Loss to the building, loss to the people, loss to the machinery, loss to the animals, loss to the passersby. Every kind of loss was covered. So these are the huge projects, huge money is involved. Simultaneously, if there is any loss, huge losses could also be there. Now, how the policy or how the sum insured of the policy will be decided? Because in all engineering policies, sum insured is a very important factor. Reason being, all these policies are subject to underinsurance. And wherever there is underinsurance, there is application of average clause. That means no risk should be underinsured. And when an engineering policy is issued, that includes various components of the projected cost. Say for example, CR policy. So how the sum insured will be worked out? Marine landed cost at site for imported machineries, Marine indigenous landed cost at site for those machineries which are purchased from within country. Cost of construction, permanent civil engineering work, half the escalated value if escalation is opted for, plus sum insured to represent the completed value of the contract work on the completion of construction, inclusive of materials, wages, freight, custom duties, construction cost, and material or items supplied by the principals. The purpose is, under no circumstances it should be underinsured. The purpose is, sum insured must be adequate. The purpose is, the sum insured may be overinsured but should not be underinsured. If at all by any reason it is underinsured, the loser is only customer. And you will never prefer that your customer should lose. Because at the time of claim, the amount will be directed proportionately in comparison to the underinsurance by application of average clause. Once any of the customer is suffering, he will not come back to you. You won't even get the renewal or extensions. So that situation must not arise. We can overinsure it. Because forget the IDB. IDB concept is not applicable to any of the non-motor engineering class. Forget the IDB. IDB is applicable to one and only motor insurance. So here nothing to do with the IDB. Here the sum insured would be on the basis of the current replacement value, and for everything there is a value. This value could be higher. Higher value is permitted. Escalation is permitted. All the expenses like weight, freight, custom duty, construction cost are permitted. Add them when you are deciding the sum insured. Because sum insured must include every component. Then only the proper valuation will be there. Now this policy has certain add-on covers also. Whenever this policy is given to any of the contractors or buyers or principals or owners, at the same time you can also suggest the add-on covers, because these add-on covers will fetch you an extra premium, plus to the customer a wider coverage. All they are useful. Third party liability, surrounding property of insured, escalation, removal of debris, CPM, maintenance. CPM is a separate policy. But for CR purposes, when the contractors are using their own plant and machineries, they can also cover their own plant and machineries under this CR policy by taking an add-on cover called CPM. Removal of debris is most important add-on cover. Because wherever there is a construction project, chances of breakage, removal, collapse, demolition are 100%. Reason being, in such a big project, mistakes occurs due to the carelessness of labor, due to wrong measurement, due to faulty designs. Even major portions are constructed, when they are inspected by the chiefs, it is found they are wrongly constructed. They are removed. They are destructed. So that destruction cost plus removal of debris cost. And this removal of debris cost is in lakhs, millions sometimes. So why the owner or the contractor should bear this cost? So they will always prefer to pay a premium of few thousand rupees to take this add-on cover, which will save their cost in lakhs and millions of rupees at the time of loss. So these all add-on covers are equally important. Now see an image. This is a real loss image. Building under course of construction. A building may be a 4 floor, 5 floor, 6 floor, collapsed. Now you can just imagine when the building has collapsed. The entire building material is gone waste. Even the uncollapsed portion is shaken badly. So that has to be demolished again. whatever has been destroyed by the debris, maybe machineries, maybe man, maybe animals, anything. How difficult it is to remove that debris. Because even in the operation of removal of debris, there could be further casualties. Those cannot be controlled by any person. Because these operations are done by the machineries. So in such a real image of loss, you can understand. A building under course of construction is collapsing. How much damage could be there? And unfortunately, if it is not ensured, that entire loss has to be borne by the contractor or by the principals. It could be a huge amount. So in such projects, you can understand the importance of insurance. Now the policy does not cover certain things like willful act or willful negligence of the insured or his representatives, loss found at the time of taking inventory, consequential losses due to penalty for delay, non-fulfillment of terms and contract, cost necessary for improvisation like rectification or correction, or bodily injury to or illness of employees of workmen. Try to understand this last one. If during the course of construction of any project, if there is any death or disability to any workman or bodily injury, this liability will not be covered under CAR policy. I repeat, if the CAR policy is there, during the course of construction, if some person who are workers of the contractors died, suffered disability or injury, the CAR policy will pay nothing. Can any of you say why? Can any of you say why? No idea. The reason is this workman's liability is covered under a separate policy that is called Workman Compensation Insurance or Employees Compensation Insurance. So this loss is not a part of the CAR policy. Any firm where a contractor is working, any firm where the owners or principals are working, if the workman dies, for them they have to take separate policy called Employees Compensation Insurance. Third party liability coverage can be extended here because this is an additional cover. The term implies legal liability arising out of the property damage or bodily injury suffered by third party on or near the site. Though third party is the section of the policy, but for additional coverage, because the insurers will not indemnify any claims from the employees or workmen of the contractor or the principal owner or any other firm connected with the contract work or members of their families. So the third party liability cover cannot be granted during extended maintenance. It has to be taken at the time of taking the policy. Whatever additional coverage is required, at that time only it can be taken. Premium is decided according to the certain options like any one person or any one accident. These two limits have to be obtained by the proposer. Another real image I will show you. Building under course of construction in Ghaziabad collapsed and two passerbys killed. Passerby means people who were going besides the project. Because the building collapsed, some stones or building material fallen upon them and they killed. They died on the spot. Now here again, this is a third party liability. Principals have to pay, compensate to the dependents of the third persons. And you can imagine such a heavy loss where the building has collapsed if at all anything coming into the contact, maybe machinery or animal or persons, they can't survive. Damages are bound to happen. Maybe casualty, total loss, any kind of loss. Now, if at all any loss has happened, how the policy will settle the claim, that is important. Because normally partial losses are taking place. So, in case of partial losses, cost of repairs necessary to restore the property to the original condition immediately before the loss is paid, minus salvage, minus under insurance, minus excess. Under insurance is applicable only when the underinsured property is underinsured, otherwise not. Similarly, the funda with the total loss. But in total loss, actual value of the property immediately before the loss is paid, subject to policy deductibles, and policy deductibles are only salvage and loss insurance and excess. Here, the value which is required to restore the project completely has to be paid. Now, reinstatement of sum insured is again important. This you have to understand because this is applicable to fire insurance as well as machinery insurance. Whenever there is a claim and the fire engineering policies, so whatever amount of claim is paid to the insured, the sum insured or the policy will be reduced by that amount for the unexpired period of risk. Say for example, my project for automobile industry is going on, that costs 50 crore rupees. During the policy period, there is a loss of 10 crore rupees. Insurance company settles the claim of 10 crore rupees minus compulsory excess minus salvage. So policy period of 6 months has already passed. Remaining 6 months it has to go. In that case, since the insurance company has settled a claim of 10 crore rupees, so for the unexpired period of further 6 months, my sum insured will remain only the 40 crores. 10 crores will be reduced out of it. If I want to reinstate this sum insured, I have to pay the difference amount of premium. And this is necessary because for the future period, if at all there is any loss, I am going to suffer because of the underinsurance. So the insured has to pay pro rata additional premium on the full amount of each claim for the loss or damage from the date of such loss. Then only the insured is reinstated. So this is part of the engineering as well as fire policies, and this must be done. Normally, since the insureds are not aware of such things, this is part of the insurance underwriting. So what the insurance companies are doing whenever they are settling a claim, they are deducting the difference amount of premium from that claim amount, and rest of the claim amount is paid. So that amount deducted for reinstatement of sum insured is adjusted and sum insured is reinstated to the full. This is again a good method. Now when you are issuing a policy or when you are selling this policy to any of your customers, try to understand few important points. First of all, the rating of any CR policy shall depend upon the project type. What type of project is there? Because the rate structure is separately decided in tariff. Project could be like a stadium construction, hospital construction, bridge construction, road construction, any kind of project is there. Secondly, mid-time cover. If in case the project has already started, policy can be given mid-term, but the premium shall be charged from the commencement of the project. This is very difficult. That shall be done post taking declaration from insured of non-necessity till date and approval from the underwriting department. Try to understand. I explain this thing. I have taken a policy of 50 crore for my automobile industry. Correct? Everything is okay. So the risk is covered. Now suppose my work has commenced 6 months ago and I have taken the policy today. So insurance company will give me a policy because this is called mid-term of the project. 6 months have already gone. Constructions have already started. Consignments are already there on the project sites. So insurance company will give me the policy on two conditions. First, they will charge the premium from the 6 months back, from that date when the work was commenced, point number one. Secondly, they will give the policy only when I will declare that there is no loss still till date. If these two things are complied, then only any insurance company will give me the policy. Otherwise, I should have taken the policy on the day one when the consignment of material was there on the project site or the work has commenced on the project site. So mid-term cover provision is there, but subjected to these two conditions. A small term policy can be given. Say suppose that project is only for the 6 months or even 3 months. I can take a policy for 3 months. Any company will give me. Extension. If in case project does not complete in the given policy period, extension can be taken because policy is not renewed. This is extended on the same terms and conditions, but the period would be decided by the proposers because they know better how much time it is going to take the project complete. Sometimes the situation may come when the insurer has to be changed. If the policy has been taken from one insurance company, extension cannot be given by another company without taking the entire project. Say if my project is there, I have taken the policy from the Bajaj Alliance on the day one when my project was commenced. For 1 year policy was issued. But during the policy period, my tuning with the Bajaj Alliance officers of Bajaj Alliance company was not very good. I don't want to take the extension from the Bajaj. Because my project is expected for further 2 years to complete. I don't want to continue with Bajaj. Now I want to change the company. I want to come to SGI. Do you think the SGI will give me the coverage? No. They will give only in one condition. They will charge the premium for the entire project period from that previous policy period also. So, insurer can be changed. But the another insurance company will charge the full premium of that project. In this policy, one good feature is there. The premium can be charged in installments. In all general insurance policies, there is a precondition that the premium has to be charged initially for full amount. That is called the compliance of section 64BB. But in these two long-term policies, CR and ER, in case the project period is more than or equal to 12 months, premium can be taken in quarterly installment also. This facility is available, depending upon the underwriter's satisfaction. Higher discounts can be given. Engineering tariff provides that if the policy is taken by the contractors, sometime for the compliance of tenders they take the policy because there is a clause under the tenders that they have to submit an insurance policy for the value of the tender. So they are taking the policy and they are submitting to their respective departments, but they want that they should pay the lesser premium. In that case, the tariff provides that if they are opting higher access, a discount can be given. Higher access means, say for example, the contractor is ready to bear 2 times of minimum access, 5% discount can be given. He is ready to bear 10 times of maximum access, minimum access, 20% discount can be given. 20 times of minimum access, 30% discount can be given. This provision is there in the tariff itself. Okay. Now with this policy you will find 2-3 important clauses. And I'm explaining this clause specifically because whenever you are selling this policy, the contractor will ask for this clause. If he is saying I want 50-50 clause, you may not even understand what is this. So better to understand what this is. This is a clause given to the insured to cover those losses which are discovered after the termination of the cover. Means when the policy expires. Policy expired 3 months back, 4 months back, 6 months back. Then the owner or the contractor came to know that there was the loss which took place that time only when the policy was in force. And if they are filing claim on the insurance company will say how we can assess it now. If you are saying this was 6 months ago, this took place at 9 months ago, you never informed us. Immediate intimation is required. You never gave us any opportunity to assess it. You didn't give any opportunity to inspect it. So how we can assess this loss? But these kind of things are happening regularly. They are normal practices in big projects. Certain things are coming to the knowledge after 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. So those defects, defaults, or even losses, when they are discovered at the later stage, are denied by the insurance company. But in such case, if the insured has taken 50-50 clause, he has paid premium for this, insurance company will bear 50% liability of that loss, and the remaining 50% liability has to be borne by the insured itself. So even the 50% liability makes the difference because the loss could be of millions of rupees. From this point of view, this clause is very important, and normally the proposals are taking this policy, this clause along with the policy. Another important clause, 72 hours clause. For this again, the insured may ask, because this is a typical clause normally, but they are the huge projects, the kind of things are taking place by multiple reasons. So the need of such clauses is there. What happens? Say if there is any loss to any project even during the policy period. Say for example, earthquake was there. So due to earthquake, top floor collapsed. Say it was a 7th floor building, 7th floor collapsed. But the shocks of earthquake were so severe that on the second day, one more floor collapsed. When the top floor collapsed, principals of the contractors intimated the insurance company and the claim was registered. Next day, again one floor collapsed. So again they intimated the insurance company and the claim was registered. Third day again, 2 floors collapsed. Because the shock was so severe. On day 1 itself. Earthquake was on the day 1 only, but the impact was there. And due to that impact, losses continues for first day, second day, third day, fourth day, like that. Now if the insured is intimating the insurance company losses on different dates, what will happen? Losses will be settled. But the only thing is, compulsory excess of these policies is very high. That is on the percentage basis. And the compulsory excess will apply on each claim separately. So separate claims are registered, separately compulsory excess will apply. So who is the loser? Insured only. Because the cause of loss was one, project was the same, location was the same, insured was the same, but only difference is the loss is taking place in different intervals where the date changes. So the separate claims are registered. And because of this reason, the insured is going to lose lakhs of rupees or millions of rupees. In such a case, insured would always prefer to take 72 hour clause. If he is taking this clause, what will happen? The losses within 72 hours will be clubbed together and will be treated as one loss. If they are treated as one less, only the one compulsory excess will apply. So that way, the insured will save the cost. Within 72 hours, whatever losses have taken place, there would not be any overlapping in any 2 or more than 72 hour periods. Whatever losses have taken place, they will be treated as one. Insured will suffer only one compulsory excess. So CR or ER is now clear to you. Wherever there is more than 50% civil work is there, CR policy is given. If the erection work is there, ER policy is given. So this is all about the CR policy. Now you can ask the questions. This is your turn now. Any doubts?
There is anything